All of you are welcome to Aramba Institute. Aramba Institute is the institution which builds up the foundation for the competitive examination like JEE, MST CET and NEET. मी प्राध्यापक कदम गेल्या 30 वर्षापासून मी मॅथमॅटिक्स शिकवत आहे आणि आपल्या सर्वांचं आरंभ इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये मी हार्दिक स्वागत करतो. स्पेशली दोज स्टुडंट्स who are entering in the ninth standard, they are most welcome to institute. All of you are congratulated because you are going to study the mathematics which is really used for our day-to-day life. The title of your new textbook is your Ganita Manjari, and in this there are two volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. The first volume is published, second volume is now awaiting. In the first volume we are going to see the chapters which are very used to our day-to-day life. Today we are going to study the chapter which is really useful in our life. Since from morning to till night we are using this chapter, but we don't know whether really there is a use of this chapter in our day-to-day life. The chapter which is used in our day-to-day life is the use of the coordinate, or we can say the coordinate geometry. Actually, daily we are using this coordinate geometry in our day-to-day life. For example, suppose some students want to know the address of our Aramba Institute. They want to take the admission in the Aramba Institute, so they want to visit to our institution. So they will ask to me the address of Aramba Institute. I will send the address, detailed address. If I will send them, definitely they will come to the office. But if the address is not completed, they will be unable to find our office. I am sending the address by sending the live location or by typing the address to them. They see that address and they will approach to our institution. What is the mathematics behind this? इसके पीछे mathematics क्या है? Actually, when I am sending the address to them, that address is for the non-mathematical person. But for the mathematical person, actually, I am sending the address means I am sending the location. I am sending the coordinates of Aramba Institute. According to that, Aramba Institute के coordinates भेजने के बाद अगर मैं डायरेक्टली उनको coordinates अगर भेजूँ, for example, Aramba Institute is 70 kilometers from the north, Aramba Institute is 60 kilometers from the west. So it is very difficult for finding the address to the non-mathematical person. That's why that coordinate are converted into the address, and that address can understand any non-mathematical person. So this is the use of the coordinate geometry in our day-to-day life. In order to understand again detail about this, let us have one example regarding this. Suppose in our class, some students are sitting in the class. For example, there are some students are sitting in the class just like this. We are understanding the concept of the coordinate geometry, how it is used in our day-to-day life. There are some students are sitting in the class. We will find that there are 16 students are sitting in the class. Few students are in the row, and we can say few students are in the column. Means they are arranged into rows and columns. Suppose, for example, this is my first row, this is my second row, this is my third row, this is fourth row. This is my first column, this is second column, this is third column, and this is your fourth column. Suppose there is a one student, for example, this is a one student, this is another student. Suppose, for example, this is Ramesh, this is Rajesh, this is, suppose, for example, Poonam seated in this column, and this is again, suppose Geeta is there seated in here. I want to locate the position of these students just like this. Suppose this is your Poonam, this is your Poonam, this is Rajesh, this is your Geeta. These three students are seated in the class in this manner. I want to locate the position of every student in the class. First of all, let us find the location of every student in the class. ये एग्जाम्पल हम जैसे अभी कभी हम पिक्चर देखने जाते हैं, सिनेमा घर में जब हम जाते हैं तो हमारे टिकट के ऊपर हमारा एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन वहाँ पे लिखा रहता है. ABCDEFG up to Z, there are 26 फॉर एग्जाम्पल रोज आर देयर. और सपोज फॉर एग्जाम्पल मुझे टिकट जो मिला है वहाँ पे लिखा है C27. C27 का मतलब क्या होता है? C27 का मतलब ऐसा है कि मैं कहाँ जाके बैठना है. दिस इज माई एड्रेस, माई सीट इज C27. सो C27 का मतलब ऐसा है कि C रो एंड सीट नंबर 27, that seat is allotted to me. Similarly, in this also, we have to find out the address of every students in the terms of the coordinate geometry, in the terms of the coordinates. तो हम कैसे कहेंगे कि इसका पूनम का लोकेशन क्लास में कहाँ है, पूनम कहाँ बैठी वाली है, इसका अगर लोकेशन मुझे निकालना है तो हम कहेंगे simply we can say non-mathematical person will say like this: it is sitting in the second row and the first column. Are you getting my point? Poonam sitting in the second row and the first column. This is the statement of the non-mathematical person. Mathematical person will say like this: the address or the coordinates of this Poonam will be 2, 1. 2 indicates the number of row, 1 indicates the number of column. It means that Poonam is sitting in the class in the second row and the first column. Similarly, we can find the coordinates of the Rajesh. We can find the position or location of the Rajesh like this. We can say that Rajesh is locating in the third row and the third column. Means we can say that the coordinates of the Rajesh will be 3, 3. Similarly, we can find the location of the Gita. You can find the location of the Gita. Gita is in the fourth row and in the first column. Means the coordinates of Gita will be like this. This will be the coordinates of the Gita will be, this will be fourth row, means that is equal to 4, first column means that is equal to 4, 1. This is the system how to locate the object, the position of the object in the Cartesian plane. What is Cartesian plane? Cartesian plane is the plane where we can locate the position of the object. Whenever you want to find out the position of the object in the plane, at that time, the geometry which we are using, that is called as the two-dimensional geometry. So, two-dimensional geometry is useful for finding the location of the object in the given plane. Suppose I want to find out the position of this board on this wall. We can find the position of this board on this wall by using this coordinate geometry. Now, suppose there is one example. Suppose there is one mobile, and this mobile is neither placed on any plane. It is in the space, for example. At that time, as this mobile does not lie on any plane, ये मोबाइल कोई प्लेन में नहीं है, तो this two-dimensional geometry fails to find the location of this mobile. At that time, we have to use the new geometry that is called as the three-dimensional geometry. So the use of the three-dimensional geometry is we can find the location of the object in the space. The use of this two-dimensional geometry is to find the location of the object in the given plane. As per your syllabus consent, we have to study the two-dimensional geometry. To locate the position of any object in the given plane, we require a Cartesian plane. हमको Cartesian plane की ज़रूरत होती है. हम उसके बारे में भी हम सोचेंगे, लेकिन इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा और हम डिटेल में स्टडी करेंगे. Suppose there is Rajesh is there. This Rajesh is there. Sorry, Ramesh is there. Who is located? Where he is located? It is located in the first row and second column. So the coordinates of Ramesh will be 1, 2. Okay. अभी इसके बारे में थोड़ा डिटेल स्टडी करेंगे. अभी दिस इज आवर क्लासरूम. नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स आर सिटिंग इन द क्लास. एग्जाम्पल मैंने राजेश, गीता, पूनम और रमेश लिया हूँ. अभी फॉर एग्जाम्पल रमेश का बर्थडे है. ओके, रमेश का बर्थडे है और एवरी स्टूडेंट विश टू रमेश टू इट्स ऑन हैप्पी बर्थडे. एवरी स्टूडेंट, सभी स्टूडेंट्स को रमेश को विश करना है बर्थडे के लिए. तो क्या हो जाएगा कि हर स्टूडेंट्स उसके पास जाएगा. समझ में आ गया कि एवरी स्टूडेंट्स विल अप्रोच टू द रमेश. सी, रमेश इज सिटिंग at his place. Every student will approach to Ramesh to wish him on his birthday. तो पहले पूनम will approach for example. देखो, रमेश तो हमारा फिक्स है. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया? The coordinates of the Ramesh are fixed. वो कहीं हिलने वाला नहीं है. लेकिन पूनम को उसके पास जाना है. राजेश को उसके पास जाना है, गीता को उसके पास जाना है उसको विश करने के लिए ऑन हिज बर्थडे। तो क्या हो जाएगा, एक्चुअली क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, जब पूनम उसके पास जाएगी तो उसके जो कोऑर्डिनेट्स है, ये पूनम रमेश के पास कब जाएगी, कब यहाँ पे रहेगी, व्हाट यू कैन से अबाउट दिस कोऑर्डिनेट्स। व्हेन दिस पूनम अप्रोचिंग टू द रमेश, what will happen, the coordinates of this Punam goes on changing. मान लो मैं अभी यहाँ पे खड़ा हूँ और मैं कैमरे की तरफ आना चाहता हूँ, at that time at every moment the coordinates of my will be changed. Similarly, when Punam approaches to Ramesh, this is the non-mathematical person will say Punam is approaching to Ramesh, this is the non-mathematical. लेकिन मैथमेटिकल पर्सन क्या सोचेगा इसके बारे में कि जब पूनम रमेश की तरफ अप्रोच हो रही है, एट दैट टाइम द कोऑर्डिनेट्स ऑफ दिस पूनम गोज ऑन चेंजिंग एज शी अप्रोचेस टू द रमेश। तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि पूनम रमेश के पास शेक हैंड कब करेगी, जब उसके पास हो जाएगी। तो इसका मतलब क्या हो गया कि पूनम के कोऑर्डिनेट्स जब रमेश के कोऑर्डिनेट्स के इक्वल होंगे, क्या मतलब हो गया इसका, अभी 2,1 and 1,2 both the coordinates are different, they have different location, but Punam when approaches to the Ramesh, at that time this coordinates goes on changing. When that coordinates become 1,2, at that time Punam is near to Ramesh. She will wish him. Similarly, 4,1, see 2,1, 4,1, this distance and this distance is more, and therefore these coordinates are also different. So when this Gita will approach to Ramesh to wish him, at that time these coordinates also goes on changing. So when the coordinates of Gita becomes 1,2, at that time she will be near to the Ramesh. Similarly, we can say Rajesh, see the distance, this distance, this distance, this distance, therefore they have the different coordinates. This distance small, the bigger, small, medium. So when the Rajesh will approach to Ramesh, at that time the coordinates of this Rajesh goes on changing. When the coordinates of the Rajesh becomes 1,2, at that time Rajesh is near to Ramesh to wish him. तो हमको ये बात समझ में आना चाहिए कि जब कोई पॉइंट या कोई ऑब्जेक्ट मूव होता है, एट एवरी मोमेंट इट चेंजेस इट्स कोऑर्डिनेट्स। ये सिंपल एग्जांपल मैंने आपको बताया था। अभी इसमें और हम डिटेल में जा सकते हैं, लेकिन इतना सफिशिएंट है कि हम इसमें सिर्फ ये बात समझ में आई हमारे को कि जब भी कोई ऑब्जेक्ट एक जगह से दूसरी जगह मूव होता है तो एट दैट टाइम इट्स कोऑर्डिनेट्स गोज ऑन चेंजिंग, राइट। नाउ बिफोर 5 minutes I told you that in order to locate the position of the object in the given plane, at that time we have to use one new system. That system is called as the Cartesian system. Once again, the use of coordinates means nothing but the study of the coordinate geometry. The title of your book is Ganita Manjari. It's a very nice book for you. So, first of all, let us see what is Cartesian plane. हम कार्टेशियन प्लेन के बारे में थोड़ा स्टडी करेंगे। You can see, you can watch. In order to find in order to locate the position of any object, we required a Cartesian plane. So first of all, we see the what is Cartesian plane. It consists of two axes. One is the one line is parallel to ground. Second line is perpendicular to the ground. The line which is parallel to the ground is called as the x-axis. This is your x-axis. The line which is perpendicular to the ground is your y-axis. The x-axis and y-axis, obviously they will be perpendicular, because one line is parallel to the ground, one line is perpendicular to the ground. It means the angle between them is equal to 90 degree. The point of intersection of this x-axis and the y-axis is called as the origin, and the coordinates of the origin will be 0, 0. This is the starting point for measuring the distance, either to the right hand side, upper side, left side or downward side. So this is my starting point. The right hand side of this origin is positive, therefore this is positive x-axis, this will be negative x-axis, this is positive y-axis, and this is your negative y-axis. Due to the intersection of the x-axis and y-axis, the whole plane is divided into 4 equal parts. This is first part, second part, third part, and this is fourth part. In coordinate geometry, this part equally divided, this part is called as the quadrant. So this is my first quadrant. This is my second quadrant. This is my third quadrant, and this is my fourth quadrant. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So due to the intersection of the x-axis and y-axis, the whole plane is divided into 4 equal parts, and each part is called as the quadrant. This is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Now see, this is the area of the first quadrant. There are infinite points in the first quadrant. All these points lies in between the positive x-axis and positive y-axis. Therefore, both the coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinates of that point will be plus, plus. Both the coordinates will be positive. Why both the coordinates are positive? X coordinate is also positive, y coordinates are also positive, because these points lies in between the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis. Similarly, these points lies in between the negative x-axis and positive y-axis. Therefore, their coordinates will be minus, plus. These points lies in between the negative x-axis, negative y-axis. Therefore, both the coordinates are minus, both the coordinates are negative. In this case, these points lies in between the positive x-axis and negative y-axis. Therefore, their coordinates will be plus, minus. So in this way, we can write down the sign of the every points, where that point lies, in which quadrant that point lies. Now, second thing is that, suppose I ask to you minus 3, 4, minus 5, minus 5. This is 4, minus 3. This is 3, 2. If I ask to you, tell me in which quadrant this point lies. This is the first point, minus 3, 4. Can you tell me in which quadrant it lies? minus plus combination will be of the second quadrant. Therefore, we can say that this lies in the second quadrant. Plus minus combination is about the fourth quadrant. Therefore, it lies in the fourth quadrant. What about this? It lies in the third quadrant because minus minus combination is there. So we can say that this lies in the third quadrant and both are positive. So we can say it lies in the first quadrant. So in this way we can find the point in which quadrant it lies. First quadrant, second quadrant according to the sign of the x coordinates and y coordinate. Second thing is that suppose for example just यहाँ पे देखो, this is x axis and y axis is given to you. This is x axis and y axis. Some points lies on the x axis, some points lies on the y axis. हमको तो ये पता चल गया है कि अगर कोई पॉइंट कोई क्वाड्रेंट में है तो हम इजीली हम बता सकते हैं कि वो कौन से क्वाड्रेंट में है अकॉर्डिंग टू द साइन ऑफ द x coordinate and y coordinate. But there are some points which never lie, or we can say there are some points they do not lie in the first, second, third, fourth quadrant. वो क्वाड्रेंट में नहीं होते, तो ऐसे पॉइंट्स हमारे आइदर x एक्सिस पे होंगे या y एक्सिस पे होंगे. तो इस डायग्राम में देखिए आप कि देयर आर सम पॉइंट्स विच आर लाइंग ऑन द x एक्सिस, some points h and g lie on the y axis. तो हम एक बात यहाँ पे समझ सकते हैं कि E point lies on the x axis, B point is also lies on the x axis. हमें इसमें क्या दिख रहा है कि इसका जो y coordinate है ये आपका 0 है. Means we can say that those points lies on the x axis, their y coordinate is 0. यहाँ पे हम कोई भी अगर पॉइंट लेते हैं चलो देखिए. Suppose for example this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is -1, this is -2, this is -3, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is -1, -2, this is -3, this is your -4. अभी there are some points on the x axis. Suppose for example ये एक पॉइंट हमने, ये दूसरा पॉइंट हमने लिए, ये तीसरा पॉइंट हमने लिया. तो हमने ये बताया कि दोज पॉइंट्स विच आर लाइंग ऑन द एक्स एक्सिस देयर y coordinate will be 0. It means that the coordinates of this point will be 1, 0. The coordinates of this point will be 4, 0. This will be 3, 0. Suppose I want to write down the coordinates of these points. For example, ये कुछ points they are on the y axis. इनके कोऑर्डिनेट्स अगर हमको लिखना है तो हम ये लिखेंगे कि एक बात हमने ये बताया कि दोज पॉइंट्स विच आर लाइंग ऑन द एक्स एक्सिस देयर y coordinate is 0, whereas those points which are lying on the y axis their x coordinate will be 0. तो हम इसका इनके कोऑर्डिनेट्स लिखेंगे 0, 3. This will be 0, 2. This will be 0, -2. What about this? This will be 0, -4. You got this point? Two statement, remember, those points lying on the x axis, their y coordinate will be 0, whereas those points lying on the y axis, their x coordinate will be 0. Now, सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल इसमें इक्वेशन ऑफ द एक्स एक्सिस और इक्वेशन ऑफ द वाई एक्सिस ये भी हम थोड़ा सा डिसाइड करेंगे. Okay. This is my x-axis, this is y-axis. Remember, equation of x-axis will be, always remember, y is equal to 0. Such type of the equation will require at the end of this chapter for drawing the graphs of the straight line. Equation of y-axis will be, that is equal to x is equal to what? 0. Equation of x-axis opposite, remember, y is equal to 0, and equation of the y-axis is, that is your x is equal to 0. From that I want to find out the equation of lines which are parallel to the x-axis. For example, एक लाइन हमने ड्रॉ की है. I want to find out the equation of these two lines. This line I want to find out. अभी एक बात मुझे समझ में आ गई कि this line and this line parallel to x-axis, and I know the equation of the x-axis is y is equal to 0. Therefore, the equation of these three lines will be same. Y is equal to y is equal to y is equal to. The equation of this line will be in terms of y. अभी y is equal to what? तो हमने ये देखना है कि this line y axis को कहाँ कट कर रही है. तो ये लाइन y axis को 4 पे कट कर रही है. So we can say that the equation of this line will be equal to, that is your y is equal to 4. Similarly, can you tell me the equation of this line? This will be equal to y is equal to what? 2, because this line is cutting to the y axis at 2. Similarly, can you tell me the equation of this line? This will be equal to y is equal to what? Minus 2, because minus 3, because this line is cutting to the y axis at minus 3. Therefore, the equation of these three lines, these three lines are parallel to x axis. Similarly, we can find the equation of lines which are suppose for example which are parallel to the y-axis. I know the equation of the y-axis is what? X is equal to 0. Similarly, this line and this line both are parallel to the y-axis. Therefore, their equation will be in terms of x is equal to x is equal to what? हम ये देखेंगे कि ये लाइन x एक्सिस को कहाँ कट कर रही है. सपोज इट इज कटिंग टू द x एक्सिस एट 3. देयरफॉर इक्वेशन ऑफ दिस लाइन विल बी x इज इक्वल टू 3 एंड इक्वेशन ऑफ दिस लाइन विल बी इक्वल टू, दैट इज x इज इक्वल टू माइनस 2. क्या सीखा हमने इसमें? हमने ये देखा कि इक्वेशन ऑफ द x एक्सिस इज y इज इक्वल टू 0, इक्वेशन ऑफ द y एक्सिस इज x इज इक्वल टू 0. दोज लाइन्स विच आर पैरेलल टू द x एक्सिस, जो लाइन एक्स एक्सिस को पैरेलल रहेगा उसका इक्वेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ y रहेगा. लेकिन y इज इक्वल टू व्हाट? तो हम ये देखेंगे कि ये लाइन y एक्सिस को कहाँ कट कर रही है. अंडरस्टैंड? सेकेंडली, आई नो द इक्वेशन ऑफ द y एक्सिस, दैट इज योर x इज इक्वल टू 0. These two lines are parallel to the y axis. Therefore, their equation will also in terms of x. X is equal to what? X is equal to, we shall see at what point this line curves to the x-axis. It is cutting to the x-axis at it is cutting to the x-axis at 3. Therefore, equation of this line will be x is equal to 3. Similarly, this line is cutting. This line is parallel to the y-axis. Therefore, equation will be in terms of x. X is equal to minus 2. It is cutting to the x-axis at minus 2. Therefore, equation of this line is equal to x is equal to minus 2. ये तो बात समझ में आ गई. लेकिन अगर हम आपको पूछते हैं कि सपोज x is equal to 5, x is equal to minus 3, y इज इक्वल टू 2, y इज इक्वल टू 4, हमने इसके बारे में एक बात पूछा कि ये जो लाइंस है ये कौन से एक्सिस को पैरेलल रहेगी, तो हम अपोजिट याद रखेंगे। अगर x के फॉर्म में इक्वेशन है हम बोलेंगे दैट लाइंस आर पैरेलल टू द y एक्सिस। ये लाइंस किसको पैरेलल रहेंगी, अपोजिट याद रखेंगे हम। y के फॉर्म में है ना तो हम बताएंगे दैट लाइंस आर पैरेलल टू द x एक्सिस। सो ऑपोजिटली आपको याद रखना है कि कौन सी लाइन किसको पैरेलल है। तो मिक्सिंग अगर आता है तो आपको उसमें आंसर देना आना चाहिए कि दैट लाइंस is parallel to which axis. So this is all about the what we can say some few parts about the Cartesian system. आरंभ फाउंडेशन जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है ये कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन का जो फाउंडेशन हमको चाहिए उसका बेस यहाँ पे हम तैयार करते हैं, सो दैट 11th-12th में जाने के बाद यू विल नॉट फाइंड एनी डिफ़िकल्टी टू फेस द कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन। आरंभ इंस्टीट्यूट में सिर्फ सिलेबस ही हम कवर नहीं करते हैं, तो कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन के लिए जो मटेरियल जो नॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स को देना चाहिए वो सब कुछ हम डिफरेंट बुक के माध्यम से हम बच्चों को देते हैं और बच्चों को डेवलप करते हैं। 9th स्टैंडर्ड का सिलेबस या 8th स्टैंडर्ड का हो या 10th स्टैंडर्ड का सिलेबस हो, इट इज़ वेरी स्मॉल चैप्टर्स, it is very small. So we shall see in the next period, we shall continue the next period about this Cartesian system. Thank you very much. का बरं तुम्ही थंब दाखवत होते, थंब का दाखवत होते?